It's even tougher now because there's something we can do about it, right? We can get a vaccine that will, in almost all cases, prevent significant illness, certainly hospitalization.
Next at 9, we're hearing from healthcare workers who say their job is tougher now than it was a year ago. Plus,
we got a document that day saying if you don't get the vaccination by April 15th, then you're going to be terminated.
Some Oklahomans are having to choose between a COVID-19 vaccine or their job. Can your employer really require you to get vaccinated? We're looking into your rights with a special report you'll want to see tonight.
The fact that these are organized groups of people out trying to steal your stuff, that makes me mad.
Caught on camera, a few neighborhoods are seeing a big spike in people breaking into cars, even taking off in them. We'll tell you which areas are being targeted tonight and why this year's fundraiser for the Rock Volunteer Fire Department is so crucial to keeping the life-saving service going. News on 6 at 9 starts right now.
Oklahoma's own News on 6 starts now.
Oh, it is a big night of news, and we start here tonight at 9 with the pandemic. The Oklahoma State Health Department says nearly 900 people are battling COVID-19 in the hospital right now as the virus continues to spread. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Brian Dorman. The latest data shows the number of hospitalizations has doubled over the past couple of weeks. We haven't seen this many people in the hospital since February. Some Oklahoma healthcare workers tell us this stage of the pandemic is more stressful than it was at the beginning. In fact, some are so stressed they're quitting. News on 6's Chin Doan joins us now live with their plea to Green Country tonight. Chin?
Brian, Tulsa health systems like Ascension St. John tell me the rise in COVID-19 cases impacts the workers' ability to treat other patients like ones who do not have the virus. Overwhelmed workers are begging everyone to do their part.
Demoralizing, frustrating, and discouraging. That's how some healthcare workers say they feel right now.
Morale is probably at an all-time low right now.
Dr. Chris SUDDUTH is the co-founder of Remedy Health Direct Primary Care in Tulsa and one of the earliest COVID-19 survivors in Oklahoma. He says he got the vaccine after it became available and doesn't understand why so many people are still choosing not to.
Some folks are, in some cases, belligerent about getting a vaccine or wearing a mask. We're not enemies. We're not opposing each other here. We are all one Oklahoma, and we are at war with a virus.
Julia Profit works as a registered nurse in Cushing.
It's very frustrating to see patients come into your ER and be admitted into your IC units daily with knowing that this could be prevented.
Profit says the stress is taking a toll on an industry that's already stretched thin. She says now some are leaving Oklahoma to take jobs in other states with better pay and conditions, or even leaving the industry.
We have families ourselves, and we want to be healthy. And every person that we have to care for, there is an element of risk.
Healthcare workers stress the best thing we all can do to help them is to get vaccinated, wear a mask, watch our distance, and wash our hands. Live in Tulsa, Chin Doan, Oklahoma's own News on 6.
Oklahoma doctors warn the Delta variant has a higher chance of putting kids in the ICU. And of course, this is not good news as we're just weeks away from the start of a new school year. They say original reports that indicated the COVID-19 virus didn't affect kids were correct, but they say the Delta variant is different, especially when it comes to children.
We have seen children intubated in that state, and it's devastating. Whether they're 5 years old or 25 years old, those people have long life ahead of them, and vaccination will make the difference.
Even with their concerns, it is worth noting here tonight, only 3 Oklahoma children between the age of 12 and 17 have died from COVID-19 since the start of the pandemic.
Well, for tonight, quiet conditions here at home. Tomorrow, though, there could be some rain and thunderstorms on the Osage Casino Skycam network, so we'll talk more about it coming up. But so far, temperatures today have been really nice, and we have dropped down to a pleasant evening at 77 degrees. East winds only 3 miles per hour. The dew point has come up some. That's to be expected. And tomorrow, our dew points won't be as pleasant as they were today, but it still won't be that bad. Once we get into the weekend, that's when it starts to get pretty bad. All right, morning planner here, 68 at 6 a.m. Slight chance of an isolated shower, but rain chances start to increase in the afternoon. I'll have a full timeline coming up, 70 by 7 a.m. and then 73 by the 8 o'clock hour for your morning planner. We'll talk more about the rain and storms for tomorrow coming up.
A teenager is now charged with first-degree murder for a shooting in Tulsa last week. Police say this guy, 18-year-old Chris Bratton, shot and killed 38-year-old Nathan Hall. That shooting happened outside of DD's Double Shots near 11th and Sheridan Friday morning. Witnesses say Bratton was messing with cars in the parking lot. When Hall confronted him, the teen pulled out a gun and shot him. Bratton is expected in court tomorrow. Those living in South Tulsa and Bixby say they are feeling helpless. That area has seen a spike in stolen vehicles and people breaking into cars. Surveillance video even shows thieves driving from house to house to house, pulling on door handles to see if they could get in and steal anything. News on 6's Jordan Tidwell joining us now live at 71st and Riverside with what we need to know tonight. Jordan?
Yeah, Brian, one man says someone tried to break into his car twice in 1 week. He says he and his neighbors, they just want it to stop. Security video from a home near 116th and Sheridan shows people trying to break into cars.
You assume that people have the same sense of dignity and property and right and wrong that you do.
Brigitte Williams says she woke up one day to find someone stole her red Mercedes from her driveway.
I was very shocked and I felt very violated that this is something that's going on.
She says she's even more upset because the car was locked and she had the keys. So she doesn't even know how they got the car. She says inside the car were things she uses and needs every day, like her kids' car seats.
Knowing that you work so hard for something and for someone to come in and take your possession, that was kind of, very hurtful to me.
Rob Clear lives near 127th and Sheridan and says twice in 1 week, his camera recorded people trying to get into his car.
They're organized, they definitely know what they're doing, and they have a plan of attack.
He says he feels helpless as he can only watch video after the fact of people on his property trying to take his things.
These people are parasites. They come up and they want to take the stuff that you've worked really hard for.
And police reports have been filed. If you have any information, call Crime Stoppers at 918-596-COPS. Live in Tulsa, Jordan Tidwell, Oklahoma's Own, News on 6.
Tulsa police arrest a woman who they say was performing sex acts with a man while a toddler was nearby watching on a bed. Police say they identified 25-year-old Kentavia Mack from a video posted to social media. She's in jail tonight on a complaint of child sex crimes. Police haven't identified the guy in the video. Only on 6, a death investigation is now underway in Mays County after a man's burned body was found near Langley. Deputies identified that man as Paul Getty. Getty's body was found with a gas can and lighter nearby. Investigators say he's not from Oklahoma, and they're not sure if his death was an accident or if someone killed him. They admit there are more questions than answers tonight, and one big question, why was he in Oklahoma? He's from out of state, and they say that right now, that's all they have to go on.
With him being in this area, it kind of gives us pause. Why? The who, what, when, where, why, and how is what we need to answer.
If you saw something, if you know or heard something, you're asked to call the number on your screen. You can also call Crime Stoppers. Tonight, 9 members of the Broken Arrow Police Department graduated from the Police Academy. The grads had their badges pinned during the ceremony. That ceremony held at the Performing Arts Center. They spent more than 1,000 hours across 28 weeks before getting to take their oath just hours ago. Still ahead here tonight at 9, a News on 6 investigation into your rights. Can your boss fire you for not getting vaccinated? The answer coming up in a special report.
And we've increased our rain chances for tomorrow. I'll let you know what time it could be raining, even storming in your hometown.
An update on those 2 teenagers with the goal of catching the state fish in all 50 states. You're watching News on 6 at 9 here on the Tulsa CW. We'll see you right back here in less than 3 minutes.